Hello, this is Greg Allison from Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you from my garden. And I got something to tell you, something rather disturbing. In America, farmers are going to starve to death when it hits the fan. I swear. You're going to have people on the farm, I mean rural people, and people that live out in the country and suburbia, whatever. They're going to be starving to death. Why? They're not growing their own food. I am really surprised how much. I mentioned this in some other videos, but I've been just really checking it out for myself, driving around, and I'm going to show you video from around here in the farm country in North Alabama, and I'll even go to far more remote, far more rural, farming intensive areas in South Georgia, and I'm going to show you videos from there, and I'm going to show you driving down the roads. Nope, very, very, very few gardens at farms. Farms have no gardens. So, Greg, they'll just eat the stuff they grow. Well, you know, all that seed they get from Monsanto for the corn and a lot of the crops of soybeans and the crops they plant and grow are hybrid seed and are genetic modified seed. And guess what? Those hybrid seed will not regrow the same plants. And so even if they have the seeds and plant them, they're not going to be producing food. And they're not going to have fuel perhaps to run all the tractors and equipment. They don't have mules like they used to have to plow like the old-timey way, nor do they typically know how to do that. Most of your farmers are real old men these days. So you don't have the labor force on the farms that you used to have. Furthermore, you're just not going to, you know, that's not much to eat, corn and soybeans, but you're not going to have it. I mean, for Pete's sake, you're not even going to have the seed. Monsanto will allow you to keep seed. You have to plant what you have. So the farmers aren't even accustomed to saving seeds. And if they saved the seeds, it'd be no good. And if they had the seeds and they were good, what would they do with them without fuel to run their tractors and equipment for planting? The mode by which farmers today know how to mass produce and feed the world would not enable them to feed themselves when it hits the fan. Oh my God, Greg, that's crazy. That can't be. Well, I'll tell you what, go drive around yourself and just look for any signs of the gardens. Or maybe go to Google Earth and look down. I did that here in a local neighborhood, counted 37 houses, and 3 of them had gardens. That's 8% of the people had gardens, roughly, just slightly better than 8%. I seen a report recently from a gardening association which claimed that 1/3 of Americans are growing some of their own food. Really? You gotta be kidding me. I know how reports get overhyped and overinflated. Yeah, more people are growing food, but it still is a very, 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 very tiny fraction of what is required, what is needed to feed the populace. I mean, yeah, go to Google Earth and click on the more recent pictures. And you can click on one where you can see like an autumn or summertime. Usually you get a lot of winter shots on Google Earth, and they're only interspersed ever so often. But I had to go back to 2015, October. But I only saw 3 properties that had gardens in one neighborhood where I counted 37 houses. Now I looked around the other neighborhoods, they all looked similar. I looked around the farms, I saw the same thing. They were no better, no different than the suburban neighborhoods. Farmers don't grow gardens anymore. When I was a kid, all the farmers had a garden. Everybody had a garden. Families had gardens. Even, you know, more suburban type families had more gardens. I feel like when I was a kid, but I definitely know all the farmers had gardens. We all did. And the gardens weren't some little bitty plots, and that's what I've seen now is a lot of your plots are just little bitty plots where people like to have a little squash. They might want a little okra or a few tomatoes or some favorite vegetables, and they grow just enough to satisfy them, to keep them happy to have a few fresh vegetables. They're not growing to be able to feed themselves. Now you take that 8% gardens, how many of those gardens are gardens where people truly grow in a sustainable manner where they can replant what they have? How many of these cases are there where they have the capacity? Oh yeah, watch my video. I'm going to show you later in this video. You're going to see footage from around here, and you're going to see footage from South Georgia. And you're going to be shocked. But again, how many people plant and save their seeds and replant them? How many grow stuff from the sprouts? Not many. I mean, if people were doing that, you wouldn't have tomato plants and all these garden plants for sale at garden centers, at Walmart, at even grocery stores. I see these things. They've got those there, and people are buying them, but it's still a small fraction of the people. But that is a large percentage of the gardens. Look at in the garden centers, at the seed packets, at the feed stores, at the seed packets. Sure, it's good to be able to buy seeds and full-blown plants. But you know what? people are going to have to learn to grow their own. And to grow their own, they're going to have to buy seed that is sustainable. You've got to buy heirloom seeds. You got to buy seeds that will be not hybrid. That's why you got to buy heirloom seeds. So go to True Leaf Market below for a source of seeds. That's going to help you. And to be able to grow your own garden without having to go to the store, which is what almost everybody's doing, you're going to have to be able to produce your own fertilizer, your own pesticides. And a good start of that is to have your own worms. So go below, greengregs.com, and check out my worms. I sell worms. I'll ship them to you. Anywhere in the United States, I can ship worms. If you're outside the United States, I'm sorry, shipping is too expensive, and there's customs involved and all that kind of stuff for shipping live animals. So I can't really accommodate that. Not right now, unless we get to the point where it's huge demand, and that might change somewhat. But hey, I got a lot going on here, even though I'm crazy busy with several things happening right now. But you need to learn how to grow your own food. And also, there may be a period where due to ground solar minimum or other environmental times, floods, whatever, you may not be able to plant for a season or two. So yeah, go ahead and buy food to store. Like check out my Patriot Supply below. 25 years shelf life. It's awesome stuff. And cheap. The 1 year supplies, you work it out, it's like $2 a meal. You can't beat that. But also learn to store the food you grow. And learn how to do it with means that you have readily available to you, like drying and things like that. Will you be able to run your canner and get the supplies when there's no power, no stores? Think about that kind of stuff. Think about root cellars. Think about all the ways that people used to store food in the old days, drying, root cellars. And here's the other thing. Some stuff will keep, root vegetables. You can pack them in buckets with sand or peat moss if you don't have a root cellar. That will help. Keep them in a cool, dry place if at all possible. And of course, learn how to forage off the wild. And you see me pulling up blackberries. Hey, why are you doing that? Well, shoot, I got them like crazy all around here. And I did show you how to eat from the trees. So please, do remember that. And I see some willow leaves. That's going to be my medicines. I'll show you some videos about using willow and sweet gum and things like that for medicinals. And I'll be showing now that spring has sprung. It's in the air. I'm going to show you more about wild edibles. They're all over the place here. And I'll do a lot more gardening videos. My apologies for not putting up so many videos of late. I've been on a dry spell due to doing my taxes. I've got several to post. So this probably won't be my first one back up from my little dry hiatus here for the last week. But in any event, check out all the videos coming up in this video, because like I said, I'm about to show you a tour of the farms. And it's rather shocking, it's rather astonishing. See for yourself, go to Google Earth, drive around. I mean, don't take Greg Allison's word for it. This is the reality. People aren't growing. And a lot of these people just flat don't know how to grow anymore. Especially, do you know how to grow without having to go to the store to buy what you need to grow your garden? Can you grow from what you got in store in your home? Can you make your own fertilizers? Can you save and plant from seed? Those are the techniques to practice. Sure, Greg, I've been around the garden before. Look, I'm going to tell you something. Every year is a new challenge here. Things I didn't have to deal with several years ago, I'm dealing with now. The environment changes, what is eating my crops change, so you've got to learn contingencies and how to deal with different things. And it does change and shift over time. And the longer you grow your garden, the more other things become aware that you're growing your garden, like deer and raccoons and of course your other predators and pests. So these are all things you have to develop skill sets for and learn how to deal with. In any event, subscribe to my channel and like my videos, please. And click the update notification bell. I have been noticing that YouTube tends to unsubscribe 10, 15, 30 people at a time sometimes every day. Even though my channel's growing rapidly right now, I still notice, you can watch the updates on it. You can see where all at once is sudden spike down. That's not natural. Where people subscribe or unsubscribe, it's in steps. When you get a big straight down, that's YouTube. It's never a straight up, it's always a straight down. But hey, it's great. It's a great platform. It's a great way to reach people. Just kind of watch and keep up with that. So I've babbled enough. Watch this video. Now this place has a lot of big farm equipment. So they might have a small garden plot planned there. There's some dirt. It's red. I'm sure they can grow a garden in that. That's red dirt. And there's nothing planted there. Got a big old house, trailer, and huge farm equipment. Now there's no gardens there. Two families don't have 2 gardens there. Tons of farm equipment, no garden. Right about here. See a garden, backyard? Nope. It's a farm type house. Well, there's a farm around it, no garden though. The land's for sale. I should buy that and put greenhouses on it. Except it's all plowed fields. Wouldn't grow anything in that soil. I don't trust it. Here's a farm. It's got a barn, big old house, no garden. I can see. There's a lumber company. There's a farm. Cattle. Used to be a dairy, judging by that building. Backyard. Nothing. Not a zip. No garden. Same with this farmhouse. No garden. Got the barn. They grow cattle. This small little farmhouse shop. Got land around there where stuff's been grown. Crops are being grown around from my garden. What I said about crops, you might be growing them. Garden. Gardens. Here we got a big piece of land here. Big yard. Huge. A lot of mowing to do. 2 houses. No garden. Big house here. No garden. All back in there. Huge house. Huge lawn. No garden. Back over here behind this place. Huge house, big lawn in the back. A lot of mowing to do. A lot of work mowing that, no garden. All this grass here, no garden, no garden, no garden, no garden. See these people's backyards? There's enough room to grow a garden. It may be suburban kind of, sort of, but hey, why can't they grow some food? Some of them at least, huh? I think somebody would be growing food, but they don't. Even here in North Alabama, we have some big fields. And there's some few little farmhouses still, or houses that are once been farmhouses. See a garden there. Okay, we're right here where there's really big fields. They got some farm behind the house. I don't see the sign of a garden there. There's another little house, big fields back behind it. Definitely country home. No sign of a garden. Land for sale. 62 acres, flat land. Might be good for putting greenhouse. I thought that land was sold. Might be good for putting greenhouses on. Check this out. Here's a farmhouse. Garden. Nada. No sign of a garden. There's a house. Got a barn. I think that would be a farmhouse, maybe. It used to be. Got a barn out here in the countryside, big fields. Probably just rented out now. No garden. Nope, nada. It's farm equipment, but nothing to grow with. They got cattle, maybe. I don't see cattle though. I don't see any gardens either. Nice, huge, unused backyards. No gardens, no garden, no garden. Land, tractor, no garden, no garden. All right, you see several yards here, backyards, front yards, the whole 9 yards. Big yards, lots of grass to grow. No gardens, no gardens. Well, that little house says no garden, though. No gardens. None, no gardens. See all this big farm equipment. We grow plenty of graves here, but new people don't seem to be popping out of them. You plant them and, I don't know, you plant people and we don't sprout new people. That's kind of weird. Plants do. Okay. Yeah, I'm making jokes of a grave situation, eh? You gotta watch that. But anyway, So maybe this guy's a prepper. He's got a big old deuce and a half here. That'd be nice to have, wouldn't it? But does he have a garden? I don't see any signs of a garden there. What about these guys? You see a garden over there? Let's go back and check his backyard. No garden. Look over here. Country home. They got cattle. They got a garden? Nope. Big equipment. Dump trucks. Got a garden? Don't see one. Cattle. No garden. People are growing what they grow to sell, but they're not growing to eat. There is no sign of a garden there. I guarantee you, if you'd been here 30 years ago, there'd have been a garden in the house, behind the house. This young man got a garden? Nope. There's a house, and we got a bunch of tractors. I mean, he's got about 4 or 5 tractors there. Surely he's got a garden, right? 4 or 5 tractors. Now, that's a serious farm. There is no garden there. No garden there either. Where's the gardens? So what you can see as I'm driving around here in North Alabama, out in rural North Alabama, farm country, is that even here, farmers aren't growing food that they can eat. They grow crops for sale. They grow stuff that they can't replant. It's that hybrid GMO seed stuff that won't even grow another generation of food. So, and it's all with tools that require massive energy and equipment, supply chains to keep the tools running, of parts, fuel, oil, and it's not going to be available if it hits the fan. So if it hits the fan, these farmers are going to starve. The same thing I'm about to show you for farms that I've just shown you here in South Georgia, which is far more rural than here. You would think that those farms, being bigger farms, more isolated, people would be growing more. They're not. And I'm really sad to say it. I knew for this was the case, and I mentioned it in my other videos, but now that I'm really trying to take a good close look at it, I'm astonished. It's really worrisome to know just how few farmers are actually growing food that they themselves can eat. And even though some of them may have a garden, the garden really isn't big enough to feed the family, or it's not big enough to subsist on, and they just grow a few favorites when the ones that do grow gardens. But that's, I guess, about 8% of the population. Now, sure, my viewers, you are the guys who grow gardens. You're the guys that's more interested in that. You're the homesteader type people, typically. So I would expect more of you would garden. So maybe my prepper friends who are subscribed to this channel, maybe you're not into it yet. Some maybe do live in cities. You can grow a lot of food in containers, container gardens, pots. You can grow a lot of food in microgreens. 3 or 4 trays of microgreens would take care of your salad and greens needs all year long. You can just keep growing. You just got to have the seed. You maybe grow the seed crops in pots, and then the eating crops in trays. That's the way to do it. So you can grow food, and microgreens don't even require, they really don't require light at all. I mean, you can eat them right after you take the top off of them. Although they green up, they're nicer when you get a little light on them. You can put them in the windowsills. You don't require electricity and electric lights, although you can enhance the production that way. It's not required. So I'm just giving you some tips of what you can do and how you can survive. I've got several videos on growing microgreens. So I really implore you to pay attention to those videos. I'm going to do more on it. I know my prepper friends tend to not like it when I post videos like that, but I'm trying to show you how to survive and thrive and not be a member of a hive in the worst of times. But again, that's just me trying to help you out there. So do watch and see what it looks like going on down in South Georgia. I was recently there. Had some delivery to make, and I got some good video around there. So have a look. Okay, looking for gardens out here in the South country. No garden at that place. I'm way out in the country here. This is close to Irwinville, Georgia. Home. There's a garden there. That's it. Trailers. Y'all gardening? Nope. House. Does it have a garden? Flowers. And again, pecans. That's cool. Somebody's selling tomatoes. Well, I guess they're selling them to all the people that don't garden. It's kind of funny to be way out here in the middle of the country and find a veggie stand. Wow. Now, why can you have a veggie stand way out here in the middle of nowhere? Because people aren't growing stuff out. Now, there's a vineyard. Big house, mansion, garden behind it, beside it, unseen. Interesting. How is it you can drive around the country in such a rural area as this? I mean, this is way out rural. You can drive and not see houses like you can in a lot of other rural areas like where I live. No houses out here. But when you do see a house, most times it has no garden. If it has a garden, it's a small, tiny garden. And just summertime vegetables planted. Not what you need to survive and thrive. This house in the sun of the garden. Bushes going around their shop. There's houses, trailers, they got flowers and bushes. No garden. No garden. No garden. You got a garden? That's a big yucca looking plant. What those things are, they're huge. Man, what is that thing? Holy smoke. We're down here almost to Florida. And there's a house, a trailer, flowers. Got some grapes. I guess there's more grapevines out here than there are anything else. People making wine. Big agricultural facilities, big fields, no gardens. And guess what? Big fields are not going to be able to grow anything when you don't have fuel for the tractors and you can't get the seeds because all your seeds come from Monsanto. And if you did have seeds, it might probably a hybrid, wouldn't grow anything anyway. Wow, these people will starve to death when it hits the fan. Out here in the middle of nowhere. Of course, if they knew it and understood it, there's food right there in them trees. These people will starve to death. Wow. Okay, let's see. 2 houses, no garden. 3 houses, no garden. House back there, no garden. No garden. Wow. There's a bunch of houses coming up. Surely one of these houses got a garden. Big houses. Do any people have a garden? 9? No. German? Nope. No garden. Come on, you gotta have a garden over here. No bushes. 2 homes. New garden. Wow, it's worse than I thought it was. In my quest to find a garden here in South Georgia, I've got on the back roads. Let's see what we can find out here. See, this country is very rural. See, a lot of land without even seeing houses, or a few houses well back in there. Looks like we're coming up on the house here. Let's see if it has a garden. Trailer, no sign of a garden. What about this house? Ah, they have a garden. They got some potatoes or something going back there. That's good. And they have a pond. I guess they can fish. Let's see if this little trailer's got a garden. I don't see no sign of a garden right here. You got golf carts, what we use for that. Camper. No gardens, but there's cattle here and chickens. As long as they can get chicken feed, they got chickens. Guess we're on the dirt roads, back roads. Lots of farmhouses, not lots of gardens. These guys have a garden. Don't see one. Don't mean they don't have one. I didn't see it. And again, an orchard. Wow, what is it about people out here in orchards of grapes? I don't care about growing a garden, but boy, they sure grow the grapes, right? Interesting. Now, this is definitely a farm. When you look out there and look over here. I mean, that house is an operating farm. Look at all the farm equipment. I think it all requires gasoline to run it. I don't see any mules out here. But guess what? They had no garden. Interesting. Big farm. Lots of corn. It's all hybrid corn. GMO hybrid corn. What are they going to do when they can't get the seed? All that belongs to Monsanto. And if you did have the seed, it wouldn't grow corn. It's hybrid. So you wouldn't have much of anything out of it. Well, there you go. Another little farm tour. No signs of much to grow on. Alright, here's a farm. Got a tractor. Bushes. Let's see the garden. Here's a farm with lots of farm equipment. Big yard. Well, that might be a spot for a garden. Wow, look at all the farm equipment. Big farm. Where's the garden? Okay, do we have a garden here? And at that house. Well, I've seen the backyards of these people pretty well. You know, I bet I hadn't seen a garden in 20 miles. I think it was bad. This is kind of blowing my mind. Gardens? None. None. Nope, nope, nope. No gardens. I would have thought a house like that would show a sign of a garden. Nope. I found the garden. And now you can see from the videos from South Georgia, I really wasn't kidding. We have a real lack, a real shortage of gardening on farms. People just aren't raising their own food. And that's something we need to rectify. We need to make our neighbors aware that, hey, people, you need to raise your own food. I mean, times could get rough. And we need to look into the sharecropping in your lawns. I think that was the best idea I've ever had. And again, if you want to be able to grow your own food, do remember worms. I got a few bags of worms here, you can see. And these are about to go out. Got a lot of worms to ship. In any event, this is Greg Allison coming to you now from my log barn inside. This is one of the places where I process worms for final packing. And these have all got to be boxed up. In any event, so do again, subscribe to my channel and click the update notification bell, and I thank you for watching.